Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cup and Joe with Joe and Joe. I am your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Joe.
Oh, baby, let's go!
That's a bit of a. Hey, I gotta put my mouth on the mic again. That was a bit of a role reversal. I'm being a little calm right now, and Joe's being a little crazy. It's a bit of a Joe reversal for you right there.
I got a beard!
Exactly. It's the beer that makes you crazy, nothing else. Um, Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is the anime edition of Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe. If you haven't seen the previous two episodes, we're doing something a little different. Excuse me, I had to swallow some saliva. Um,
I
the
love swallowing saliva.
Ah, thank God you finished that statement. Um, if you haven't seen the previous two episodes, if we upload this correctly, if we're doing something a little different. So the first three episodes of Cup of Joe that are in Volume 2, a little too long for our liking. They're like clocking in stellar
You
numbers,
can
let me
only
tell
have
you.
so much Joe in your
Exactly,
day.
per day. Exactly. And rather than like pausing the video and then coming back to it because that's such a goddamn hassle, instead, we're doing three separate videos, which also should help with like topics if you don't care about one thing and you want to see another. So it's broken up into three things: movie, comics, and anime. Movie, video, podcast, whatever the fuck we do, will be uploaded Tuesdays. Wednesdays will be comic discussions, and then Thursdays, today, if you're listening on the day we upload this, will be anime discussions. Specifically, a little show called Assault Upon Large People.
I was gonna say tall people, but that was pretty good.
Thank you. I'd say I'm what you call a witty boy. You feel?
Oh, I feel with my
Wonderful.
hands.
Woo! Okay. I hope that doesn't like terribly pique anyone's ears. All right. So Joe, Attack on Titan, season 4, episode 7, Assault. What do you think?
Everybody has lost their mind. They're fucking wild. Literally, Armin, the one dude who was fucking like okay, like I am like a normal person, gone. He is. Eren has corrupted everybody. It's simple as that.
Oh yes. Oh, good God! I don't know what it is. The people over at what is it? Mappa? Is that the studio doing the stuff now?
Yeah. I think that's
MAPPA.
yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, whoever they are, they're doing all the goddamn drugs known to man, and they're all the better for it because this shit just keeps getting better. I don't know how they do it. I don't understand it. It's insane.
It's getting better and crazier, and the more and more I feel like it's gonna like go down a notch. It just they keep turning it up.
They just keep cranking that dial. It's like the bit in Spinal Tap where it's like, well, this one goes to 11. Except they did that back in like the end of episode 4. And then they found they sharpied in 12 on the amp and just turned the knob a little harder so it hit 12. And then every episode they've just sharpied in another number onto the amp. And then they've kept turning, like the dial is broken at this point, but the amp keeps getting louder. I don't understand.
It's it's ridiculous, and I I'm loving the gore, and I'm not somebody who likes
You
gore.
would, you sick fuck.
It's crazy, man. Like there is the dam is gone. There is no hold back. Like they are freaking doing anything they want. They are not cutting shit out. They are not afraid to kill people, which I think that's what makes a good show. That for this crazy fucking show, it's weird to say, but it feels realistic. Like it feels like I'm watching a war documentary.
But Joe, does it make you feel like Spider-Man?
If Spider-Man had a gun.
Yeah! That's twice now I've done that. People are gonna hate this episode. Um, yeah, if Spider-Man had a gun. Oh my God, they're insane. It's so the ODM gear, like watching it, um, it's so great finally seeing it happen again. It's not, I will say this, it's a bit of a it's a bit different from our normal the normal jerking off of the show that we normally do. The ODM gear scenes are a little lacking, I'd say, compared to previous seasons, especially like Levi against Lenny and like all that sort of stuff. Ooh, good lord, that was mwah, like chef's kiss. There are some scenes in this. I think when that follows Jean when he's kind of like doing his thing. There's like it's a CGI tracking shot of him doing a thing, but it doesn't feel nearly as dynamic, which is weird because it's CGI. And the other one was like hand, I assume hand-drawn animation. Like it looked a little bit different, but it's going from like double S tier to like really solid top A tier animation for like those ODM gear scenes. Like it's not bad. It's just it's not the peak of ODM gear shit. But everything else is it's through the roof.
I agree with that. I know what you're talking about, but Joe, I want you to give me a rundown of this episode. Where does this
Okay.
episode start off?
Okay, so episode 7, Assault, season 4, Attack on Titan. It's the final one, baby. It starts off where episode 6 ended, which was Porco shitting himself because a bunch of Spider-Men with gun were coming to kill him, and he couldn't understand how humans were so fearless in their like march to a Titan. He's like, I'm a Titan. Why are humans running to kill me? Like they should be running away from me. Um, and then, lucky for Porco, Porco's kind of a dumbass. You'll see what I mean as I go through this. Luckily for Porco, Peak comes in, friggin' cart tightened up, and just machine guns the Paradise Islanders, and you're just like, they are dust. They are
Yeah,
red
I
mist.
love the way that it's not just like, oh, I got hit. Like that's realistic murder. Like when that bullet hits the way that the blood goes out, and it's not just blood, like it's actual. You see guts come out too. It, oh, they did such a good job.
Yeah, those
They
bullets are
kill
way
people
bigger.
so well.
That you put that tagline on the poster. They kill people so well. Um, yeah, so then after that, like this is where the Marleyan Titans really start coming back because the Card Titan reappears, and the Jaw Titan's there, and then the Beast Titan comes not barging, he comes strolling basically on in, and he's he does his thing where he crushes boulders and he throws them. And Joe, I don't know what it is about that goddamn Beast Titan, but it is so disturbing looking at him from
Oh,
any angle. I hate it.
it's like it's it's very minimal body horror with the way that his whole body is arranged, the proportions, his face, the fact that the way his voice sounds and his eyes look, and how when they show his actions, he goes from being really slow to moving really fast. Like it's really jerky. Yeah, he's that's borderline like horror. His design.
Yeah, yeah, it's so unsettling to look at. Um, I was supposed to be doing a rundown. So he comes strolling on back in, he throws boulders and stuff, and it's all like rah. And then taking advantage of the chaos that's going on because Eren Attack Titan Boy, that's his full legal name, by the way, Eren Attack Titan Boy. He's holding the crystallized Tiber, who is the Warhammer Titan, and he kind of looks down at her, and then all of a sudden you see her eye kind of widen a little bit, and then exploding out of the ground is a completely hardened Warhammer Titan that goes to try and kill Eren. It fails. And then Eren is like, "Oh, ha, ha, you're out of power. Otherwise, you would have killed me." So then Eren gets out of number 2 that he created, jumps onto the ground, making Titan number 3, and all the other Titans are like, "Holy shit! How many Titans can this guy summon?" Which is awesome because again, it's that it's maybe less subtle, but I love when the characters like other characters show the like they recognize the
The weight.
power of the
Yeah.
characters that, yeah, the weight and the power that the characters that you've been following for so long possess now. Because I don't remember where it was, but in the previous seasons they said something like Eren can only make 3 Titans before he completely is like out of steam and can't do anything again. So the fact that he just so nonchalantly makes a third, I wouldn't be surprised if he can easily make like another two. Like if he can just keep making Titans. Although I don't know if he has to, considering what happens later on in the episode. But so he makes a third Titan. He picks back up the Tiber woman in the crystal, and so he's just kind of holding on to her. And oh, that's the other thing. We find out what happens to Falco and Reiner in this episode. So Reiner, when Eren transforms, just real quickly bites his hand, and then he doesn't fully transform. He just makes a bunch of fingers and kind of encapsulates himself in Falco. And Falco's fine, but Reiner, for whatever reason, he's not getting up. He's a sleepy boy, and so Falco's like, "Okay, you stay here. I'm gonna go do main character things," and then he bounces. And then he meets up with Commander Magath, the commander of the Marleyan armies, and then they meet up with Gabby,
Gabby.
who's carrying the rifle, and she's all like, "I'm gonna fucking kill Eren Yeager," and then Commander Magath is like, "You're 5 years old, stop." Um, and so those three are together now, and they go into like do their own thing in like a building. And what happens next? Oh, the Jesus Christ! Thinking about it just messed my brain because I want this to be what really happened, but I have a funny feeling it's not going to take. Um, the Beast Titan is all like, "Oh ho ho, I am evil, and Eren Yeager is not my true enemy. I got some beef to settle with motherfucking Levi." And he's like, "Hey, Levi, come on out, you coward." And Levi's waiting there with a stopwatch. And I'm like, "What's Levi doing with the stopwatch?" So, whatever, we're going to leave that for a second. And then the Jaw and the Cart and the Beast Titan are also talking together a little bit. And then the Jaw Titan kind of goes off and does his own thing because he's like, "I'm going to attack Eren," or whatever. And then the Cart Titan is kind of standing there with, whatchamacallit, the Beast Titan boy. And then he's like, "I'm going to do a thing." And then Levi's like, "No," and fucking cuts him down.
Yo, the way Levi's face looked. Oh
It's
my god. I
it's
didn't think that guy could
terrifying.
go more insane.
He is so stoned. If you could have a more stone cold man than Stone Cold Steve Austin, that would be Stone Cold Levi. And it doesn't sound great, but it's the truth.
It really
Um,
is.
and yeah, the Beast Titan collapses in front of Magath and Falco and Gabby, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then Levi jumps down and, without missing a beat, unpins a grenade, chucks it in, and the entire nape of the Beast Titan just explodes. And Joe, I literally covered my mouth, like I did, like I did one of these things, and I was like, I leaped up in my seat. I was like, "There's no fucking way." You don't see him for the rest of the episode, and I really fucking hope they got him because that was such a badass moment. They don't glorify any of it. The Beast Titan is like, "I'm going to make an epic fight with Levi," and Levi's like, "No," and you're like, what, how, oh my god.
Yeah, I really hope that they killed him off then and there because it would have been it like it wouldn't be one of the things like, oh, you didn't give it justice or whatever. It'd be like, no, that was fucking you just showed how much Levi doesn't give a fuck. Like and that's what I like about this. Anything fucking goes in the show. Just because the fucking Beast Titan's the Beast Titan doesn't mean he has to, oh, get close to death. And then, oh no, he survived. Oh no, he came back. Oh no, it's a dramatic final battle. Like, it's fucking war. Anything fucking happens. Like even just because you're a fucking captain or some shit like that, like I'm thinking of normal war, doesn't mean the bullet's gonna go around you or you have a less of a chance of getting shot. You're just as equally likely to die. And the thing I love most about this episode is the fact that when you start the episode, or maybe like the first half of the episode, you feel like, holy shit, maybe the Paradise Island troops really underestimated how tough this was going to be. Like, they have the fucking Beast Titan, Jaw, and Cart, and the what is it, Warhammer Titan
Warhammer.
still isn't down. Like, this is gonna be fucking hard. And now the Cart Titan's killing off the ODM scouts, and it's like, holy shit.
The
But
devils
then
of Paradise Island, sure.
yeah, but then shit changes in that, and then by the end of the episode, it did a whole 180.
Yeah,
Literally,
it 180'd in the beginning, and then it 180'd again at the end. But like, I've only here's the crazy shit. I've just described
like the first
like
5 minutes.
yeah, and it's like half the major events that happened in this episode. It's insane. Um, I haven't even talked about Arwen at all.
Armin, get it
Armin, God,
fucking right, Joe. You do that one more fucking time, and also I think you said Lenny instead of Kenny, and I'm gonna fucking kill you.
did I? Oh no.
Or
I said
maybe
Levi and
it's
then Lenny, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Joe,
hi, my
it's
name's
been at least
Lenny. Fucking Lenny? What the hell, Joe? I'm gonna fucking fire you.
Jesus Christ. Are we going for the record of how many f bombs we can drop in one video? Because it really feels like it right now.
It's the only thing keeping me awake right now.
Okay.
Because once this is over and like my heart rate drops from 120,
Right.
I might actually, they might have to check me for narcolepsy.
We'll do. Also, I'll call someone. I'll send someone over.
Okay, thank you.
They're gonna be from Jersey. Though it'll take like an hour or two. Anyway, Annie Hoozles.
Armin.
Thank you.
Who knew they brought a nuke with them?
That's really what it is.
They
And
brought
I
a
was
fucking
thinking,
nuke.
yeah. And the thing is, like, I didn't realize that whatchamacallit, there were. I knew that they were turncoats in the Eldians that were living in Marley, but I didn't realize that there were supporters like in the military. So when Peak and Porco were captured, I thought that was Armin, if I'm being honest, because I just saw it kind of looked blonde-ish, the beard, and I was like, oh, maybe that's Armin. I wasn't thinking a whole lot, and so when he showed up in this, I saw that he didn't have a beard and he was in the harbor. I was like, so that wasn't Armin. And then when the airship shows up and there's another military guy in there driving the airship for them, then I'm like, oh, okay. So it's just there are supporters everywhere, but you still don't see that guy's, the beard guy's eye. So I'm willing to bet he's probably going to be someone and come back later. I don't know. That's just a theory. But the big thing, Armin, okay, we're okay. Everyone's calm. Everything's fine. Is in the harbor, and this is the turning point. Like the second, so the first turning point is when Peak comes into play and machine guns a bunch of the Paradise Islanders, and you're like, oh man, and then the Beast Titan comes in, and you're like, okay, this, and then Eren gets captured by the hardening of the Warhammer Titan, and that things are starting to look dire. They even say, Peak says, because Peak's actually a pretty good strategist, it seems. She says something along the lines of, you know, they can't win in a legitimate war against us. Like they're just an island. We are a mainland nation with other allies. Like they don't have an escape plan. And then Armin Armin is in the harbor, and you see the other like the naval forces
The
just sort
Navy
of like
coming in.
yeah, the Navy's coming in. They're like, we need to get there now. We need to blockade everything, send in more troops. And they see this little dinghy in the in the sea, and they're like, dude, you got to get out of here. There's a big military thing going on. And then he's in a hood. He takes the hood down. It's Armin, and he just looks up, and he looks regretful already. He's like, I'm so sorry for what I'm about to do to you. And he transforms, and it's a nuke going off, and you're just like, good lord. And Armin just decimates the entire harbor and a lot of the town, if I'm being honest. Like, so it's just a crater.
Yeah, it's basically the it's close to the equivalent of the Akira explosion.
It really is. It seems like they might have had some influence drawn from that, but yeah. What did you think of Armin's Colossal Titan design?
I love it. I think I was gonna say that I really, really like the way it looks, and I also love that when, he looks down and he sees like a kid that's like kind of half alive and is just, in pure pain and is just slowly dying. I like how he didn't think, "Oh, I have to help you." His thought was, "Is this what you saw when like the when basically he's talking to himself, but almost like talking to Bertolt. Like, is this what you saw when you attacked us? Like, did you see just people, young children, women, families just destroyed underneath you?" Um, because Armin is too much of a good guy, but at the same time, he very much I like I said, Eren has gotten to him. Like I feel like in the past, Armin would have never done that. Would have never agreed to do that in earlier seasons, but now he realizes that he has to step up as this military strategist and leader, and he's really really become a fucking devil.
Yes, yes, he most certainly has, and it's interesting because you see it obviously where he is very much regretful of his actions, but he also knows it's what he's got to do. It is very much like almost Aaron's gone. It just see like if I lived in the world of Attack on Titan, I would never want to be one of the found or one of the nine Titans of whatever. It just seems like it's. I mean, number one, you die after a certain amount of years. Period. It's like that's it. But also, like it just brings you nothing but misery. It's just so dark and terrible, and I'd be like, nah, stay away, go away.
Yeah,
Nothing
it
to do
seems
with
like
it.
it really. Um, I don't know if you've seen all of Harry Potter, but it reminds me of like how people react when like when they're wearing like the Holocrux and it kind of like really eats at you. Um,
Yeah,
it seems like that. Like you have to carry this huge weight. Cowboy Bebop reference. Um,
you're gonna carry that weight.
and it's like just seeing him because the only time we saw him transform into the colossal titan is when he ate Berthold and did it the first time. Um,
That's the only time he ever turns into a Titan. Period. The first time we see him turn to Colossal is in this.
really? Are you sure he didn't
Yeah,
turn in?
because he's just a normal Titan, and then he eats Berthold, which is how he then gains the power. He doesn't turn into the Colossal
Oh
Titan
yeah, you're
originally.
right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
all we see is a standard Titan, and then this is the first time we ever see Armin's actual Colossal Titan transformation.
and we hit a big 180 in the story where the the Marlians realize, oh shit, we might be fucked because the
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
naval fleet is gone. Freaking like a quarter of the town, which still had people in it, gone. You have this huge. I thought he was gonna come fight, but he doesn't. Um, he brings in reinforcements. And Joe, you want to tell me
Yeah.
about these reinforcements?
Uh, yeah, so Armin just sort of like joins up with what's her name? Hanj? Hanji? How do you
Hanji.
pronounce her name?
I say
Hanji.
Hanji.
Okay. I never know. I'm like, is the E silent? Is it not silent? I don't know. Um, but he joins back up with Hanji on the airship that's being driven by the Marlian military guy. Um, and so they're kind of just going along, and you see why the like the
The lights.
scouts were putting on the lights, yeah, in the town earlier. It was a guide path, and so I love it because it's like Peak was just like, these guys, they ain't got no way to really retreat from this. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but they would have needed to have some other kind of plan. And this just goes to show they had a plan. And of course, like we knew that because obviously there probably wouldn't be much of a show if it was just their last. They went and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna try and kill them all, and then they all just die, and it's like that's not much of a thing. But these guys, and you know that they've got a plan, and whatever it is, again, I don't like to think too much about it. I have not even ideas.
Mm.
I just am like, I I'm interested to see where it goes with this. But he kind of is joined on that airship, and so everyone's just kind of like looking at like people notice the airship now, and I love how Hanji is just like, okay, we'll pick up everyone that we can, and we can't stop. So anyone who misses out, tough luck. They're left behind. They have a small window of opportunity, all right? And that's hopefully if we don't get shot down first. And I'm like, yeah, you're a slow moving airship. How are you not going to get shot down? But whatever. Have faith. And then when, whatchamacallit, the Jaw Titan is kind of realizing what's going. He's just seeing everything that's happening. Like Beast Titan gets decimated, the Colossal Titan appears and just blows up their naval forces, and then Peak gets wrecked by Jean. Like Sasha the sharpshooter shoots, kills one of the machine gunners who we established in previous episodes was like they're like family to Peak. They're all in war together
I
and like right on
liked
her back all the
how
time.
when they showed the machine gunners, like I guess like kind of like the metal room, he had like family pictures up.
Yeah. It's very like it's really hard to root for either side, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job of that because so much of it you're just like, "Oh my God, no one has the moral high ground. Everyone is just perpetuating a cycle of war and violence." And it's very obviously kind of like the point of that. But at the same time, you've been following the Paradise Islanders for so long, and you're just like, man, I want to see these guys kick some ass. And they're doing that. But why does it have to be so morally questionable, Joe? I just want to see my Titans punch other Titans, you know? Why can't it go back to season one? Go back to the old days. That's what I would say if I was an idiot. Anyway,
That got dramatic. Wow.
it did get a little bit dramatic, much like the show, Joe. But anyway, so Peak just gets wrecked by Jean. Not dead, which is why I'm like a little bit hesitant to say that Zeke is dead because we don't
Yep.
see Zeke ever in this
Hmm.
episode. But I think it would really like diminish what happened to him. Like it would just be like a fake out death, and I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah, I'd be
Um,
frustrated.
I'd be hella frustrated. But Peak is still alive and gets rescued by Falco and Sasha. And so she's trying to regenerate her body, but they make a point of saying like it's the damage is almost too much for her to regenerate from. Like her body's too damaged, and the regeneration isn't healing her fast enough to save her. So I don't know what's going to happen with her. I'm assuming she'll be fine because Titan powers, but who knows? Um, and then the Jaw Titan kind of loses it, and he goes to attack Eren, and then Mikasa is just sort of like, "Nope, gone with your legs," and you're like, "Oh no," or he's like, "Oh no." And he's just kind of like there on the building, and then he realizes
Oh
he's
boy.
face to face with Eren, and Eren just one handed grabs his head, throws him across the blocks, rips off both of his arms.
I love the
Um,
gore in
it's
in that
so
scene.
visceral. It's
I
so
thought
visceral.
I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, is he gonna like almost like slice him off or something? Like use one of
Hmm.
like the hardening things. And I loved they made it look so real. Like the tension of like they got it perfectly where it didn't just come off. Like he really had to pull, and then when it pulled, it wasn't completely clean. And
The
oh
weight of
my
it
god.
crashing into the building, like you could see how the upper arm was way heavier than the lower arm, and like the way
Mm-hmm.
it's just flapped into the. Oh god, really good, really good. And then because again, Porco's a dumbass and just screams, mouth completely open, and then Aaron just shoves the crystalline Warhammer girl into it because he noticed earlier that the Warhammer's claws could hurt it, and he's just like, alrighty, and then he just crunches the
Nutcrackered.
Warhammer's jaws, completely crushes the Tiber girl, and then drinks her blood and spinal fluid. And now Aaron is the attack, the founding, and the Warhammer Titan. Oh my god.
When he I liked how he drank the blood, and it wasn't like a, oh, I'm just eating her. I think that was a great decision. I love that way more. Just like, oh, the brutality of it. Of just, I'm like, oh, he's just gonna crack it open and he's gonna like grab her and eat her. Oh no, fucking uses her own ally to just nutcracker the crystallized shell, and then just like like squeezing like an orange, and just drinks it.
A
It
really, really gross, hard orange.
it was so gruesome.
It was so unbelievably gruesome, and like that's crazy. Like the amount of crazy things, like Beast Titan possibly being dead. I really hope he's dead. Peak almost dying. The Jaw Titan being used to nutcracker the Warhammer Titan. Eren getting the Warhammer Titan powers. Armin revealing his Colossal Titan and just nuking their entire port. The ship coming in. It's like it's so much is happening, and you're like, okay, Aaron's just drink the blood, and then he goes to chomp down on the nape of the Jaw Titan, and you're like, is he gonna get this too? And then Falco and Gabby start crying out for Reiner to do something because he's again a sleepy boy, and but it's nap time's over, baby. And Reiner's like, fine, I guess I'll get up. And he gets up, and you just see it. You get a glimpse of it. I don't know what like Armor Titan evolving, man. He's
Yeah,
evolved.
yeah. He looks way different, and I can't wait to get a clearer look of what he looks like because I think he looks pretty fucking cool. And I liked the Armored Titan design um, in the earlier seasons.
If you want a
And
comparison, real quick, just look at Sand Shrew and then Sand Slash. Sand Shrew,
that's
Sand Slash.
honestly perfect.
I know. That's why I said it, Joe.
Did you think of
It's
that
exactly what it
on the
is.
spot?
I did. I was like, he's got all the spiky things coming out of him when he was normally just like real flat, and I'm like, what does he remind me of? And then I thought of Sand Slash, and I was like, what's that Pokemon's name? Sand Shrew. No, that's the first one. Ah, Sand Slash is the next one. So that's how I insight my creative comedy goal process.
It. Oh my god. I like the way it ended. I think it was a great ending because I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, he's about to get the Jaw Titan as well. And I'm like, is Reiner? I'm like, okay, Reiner's probably gonna get up, but Reiner's a depressed motherfucker, and he just wants to die.
He's just a sleepy boy. That's it. He just wants to go to sleep forever.
Yeah, and
Forever.
literally tried to kill himself 2 episodes ago, maybe three,
Something
and
like that, yeah.
now he's like, shit, I'm too old for this crap.
He's like 20 something.
It just, but even though he is probably like that age, he just, you can tell this dude is fucked up. He's almost as fucked up as Eren. And I liked how they did the flashback to when they were in the basement or in the basement in Marley, and he's like, and he's just asking Eren like, please just kill me, just kill me. Like he is so, his headspace is really fucked up, and the fact that he's now out here in armored titan form, I don't know what to expect. Is he gonna be really emotional and really just go full on like ape shit, or is he gonna be more of like a, I don't know. Part of me thinks maybe he's gonna be like, Eren, we need to talk almost. Like we need to like you're like, we're technically friends. Like we were friends over on Paradise. Like we really need to think about this. I don't know if it's gonna go that line or is it just gonna be like, no, fuck it, you killed a bunch of people. I just want to murder the shit out of you, and I'm gonna go beast mode. What do you think?
I think it's definitely going to be more so the latter because,
Hmm.
I mean, number one, just from a design standpoint, Sand Slash don't like talking. He very much likes stabbing. And I think like time for talking is very much over. I don't think he's going to be, because like Aaron is the one who's numb and detached. I think it very well may be Reiner's last stand, where he's just sort of like, all right, I'm going to protect these kids because as we've seen earlier in like previous episodes, he likes them. He wants to try and protect them. Um, Not only Gabby, who's a family member, but also like Falco, he seems to have really taken a liking to. So he wants to protect them. He responded to their cries for help. So I think this is just gonna be he's gonna be, I don't know if emotional is the right word, but maybe just more
Determined.
berserk, determined, yeah, something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if he'll die because it almost seems like the way that they've set up the parallels between Eren and Reiner. I almost feel like they're gonna be like the final two at like the final two Titans at the very end. I don't know. Um, Thematically, it kind of makes sense, but again, I really have no idea. I don't like thinking about it too much because I don't want to predict things and get too attached to different predicted ideas. But I very much think this is Reiner's sort of like quote unquote last stand against Eren to try and save the children.
Yeah, and for me is I like thinking about what's going to happen in the next episode. I like doing little predictions, and I'm also the one who watches a little preview at the end, even though you don't. And I'm not going to
I
say
never
anything
do.
about it. But
Thank you.
pardon, like I actually really don't know. When it comes to this episode, I am the most confused about what's going to happen next episode. And I
And
know
that's
it would,
great.
and I know it'd be easy to say like, oh, one thing we can count on is that, you know, Eren and Reiner are gonna fight. But part of me thinks it's not gonna happen. I don't know why, but I have this weird feeling where I feel like they're gonna throw us a curveball, and it just feels really weird. I'm like just the way that they've been showing Reiner's attitude, the way that they not that they dragged on this battle because this battle is obviously huge, but like it almost feels like something's gonna change, and I don't know. I feel like I said this is the one. This next episode is the most. I'm going into it the most unsure of what's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the same way. And yeah, that would kind of make sense to me where if it was something like they don't quite fight, like something else comes in. Oh, cuz next episode will be episode 8. That's the halfway point of this
Mm-hmm.
season. Oh, maybe like Marleyan forces or like allies or something come in and kind of like split up the battlefield and then the two groups go away and like regroup or whatever and then something else happens. I don't know. Um, but yeah. All right. So what you're saying is though, we're making a $100 bet that they're either going to have WWE SmackDown or they're not even going to trade blows, right? Nope, you
Do you
said it
take a
already.
Do you take a Bitcoin?
Joe, I only take Bitcoin.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, Joe, I do want to bring up one point. So I was thinking about this. When this final episode finally airs, I do not want it to be just like, oh, I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm watching the final episode of Attack on Titan. This is going to be the Adventure Time ending all over again. Literally the same exact
Oh
thing.
boy.
Girls are gonna kiss. It's simple as that.
Girls are gonna kiss. Annie Lionheart is gonna come out of her crystal and she's just gonna make the fuck out with Mikasa so hard that the internet's gonna break.
There's definitely some hentai for that. I'm gonna have to do some research. But
Oh no.
I think we need to get together the day it comes out and we rewatch the whole series.
Ooh, baby. All right, 16 episodes, each 20 minutes apiece. If 3 episodes is an hour, so 6 episodes is 2, 9 episodes is 3, 12 episodes, 15 episodes is 5. So like 5.5 hours, and then you probably stretch that out to like, yeah, we could probably do that.
Not the season, the whole series.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Um, well, considering I rewatched the first 3 seasons, and yes, I'm counting uh, 3, 1, 2, AB, all the other Jackson 5 lyrics as one season. Um, I watched all first 3 seasons in I believe 3 days. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went like about a season a day, sort of a thing. So we could probably do it in. I would have to do math for this, but like if we had like a weekend or like a long weekend sort of a thing, we could probably do it.
We're gonna find a time to make it happen because it's gonna be a big deal. This is gonna be huge. I like this
Joe,
idea.
what's thesis? I don't know what it is. Never heard of her. Get out of here.
Oh, I don't want to think about class right now, dear God.
Yeah, also classes just started up for us today, so this is fun times.
22 emails. 22 emails. Okay, well, before I go into a deep monologue of what I've just gotten myself into, Attack on Titan is great!
Yes, it is. And we've been singing its praises for a long time, but it really is. It's wonderful. I don't know if wonderful is the word that I would use. It's great.
It's so joyful.
It's so joyful, But there ain't no Tom Brady crucifixes. There ain't none of that in here, nah. That was probably a terrible accent of South Boston. Is that a good place to end it?
Yes,
Terrible
goodbye,
accents.
cruel world.